Good morning. We are of the oceans, the babbling brooks, and the tributaries of the rivulets and ponds and sinkholes. We are born with blood flowing through our veins like wild rivers, living the mystery that water is life. Water is almost everywhere. The same water that is on Mars is fueling your brain and pumping through your lungs. We can't get much more mysterious than Mars, or as complex and basic as the Illinois River. That is what we are made of. We have traversed the seas and rivers, waterways and highways, off-road streams since we have last seen each other. And now we come together for the sake of friendship and love, reconnecting and recommitting to each other, to nourishing and enriching ourselves and our church life. Sharing the joy within and continuing to quench our thirst for fairness and justice, for learning and understanding, for being the workers and the messengers who say that justice flows like waters. We put the 60% of our bodies that is water to work with the 40% that is mineral. That diversity of H2O and minerals creates the whirlpool that is our energy and our hope. We pan for gold within us, and we put our blood, sweat, and tears of sadness and joy, into this church, which, like our bodies, needs to be nourished and loved. Outside these walls, there's turbulence of many kinds. Sometimes it drives us into church, and sometimes it keeps us at home. Today we come together for the sake of friendship and love, here in the midst of all creation, here in this safe, protective cove. We bask in the glow of bright smiles and celebrate the joy of being together. And yet we know this is not a social club. We know that we have not been brought together merely for the pleasure of being together. We have many of the qualities of water. A drop can carve a path through a mountain or bless the forehead of an infant. A single act of kindness or courage can change the path of another person's life or can lead a nation. That is the miracle that swirls within us. It swirls within each of us as we choose what we are going to do with our talents. Even as we sit here today, we are reminded that the waters destroy as well as heal. It's hard to fathom that water is life when we see storms bearing down on countries that are so vulnerable and when innocent life is taken. It is another mystery, that duality that we must accept. For our essence is of the water, and we love to slake our thirst, to play and revel in it, and to wonder at happy tears. But here we are, in this safe, dry harbor, partly water, yet whole in our sense of joy, one in community, and fully committed to lifting our voices for justice and our hearts to the glory of our own health and well-being as a congregation. Let us live these words from Amos 5:24 in the Bible. Let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. When I visualize justice rolling down like waters, when I look at these glorious windows, I see in my mind's eye a mighty cleansing of the wrongs in the world. All people are buoyed so they are not struggling to keep their heads above water. We sing about our blue boat home, and I know that song is an anthem for many of us. The second verse says, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls. Are we all in the same boat or not? The song says in its own way that we nurture each other. We nurture our neighbors and we nurture those who are our kin, though we know them not. When will the stigma of poverty be washed away and living wages for all workers float our boats? When will the ideal of equal pay for equal work actually seep into society? When will the mighty channels of society and government flow together so that women can have control over their own bodies, whether it is about reproductive rights or job opportunities? When will people, including people of color, regardless of identity on the gender spectrum, be afforded the same opportunities that white males have? And the miracle of that, in my mind, will be that white males will not feel minimized by those who are their equals. The song says we nurture each other. We nurture our neighbors. We nurture those who are our kin, though we know them not. That means, as a church community, we not only look inward, we also look out into the wide world, including the cities where we reside, so that food deserts no longer exist and children are no longer food insecure. We have a group in this very church, the Snack Pack, that helps make sure Head Start children have food to eat over some weekends. There was a news feature last week on one of the local stations about children in Peoria coming to school hungry. Did you see it? It was heartbreaking. Maybe we think those parents, should do better. But Spirit of Life, what can we, with our privilege, do to help? We can at least support the efforts within our congregation. Thanks to those who do so already, and thank you to those who will in the future. Asthma on the south side of Peoria is something like 6 times that of the north side. We can't all move north, nor are we all invited. But we can help those groups that we voted to support in a congregational meeting. The Central Illinois Healthy Community Alliance, also known as CHICA, and IPA, Illinois People's Action. And there was supposed to be an announcement, but I think there was a mix-up about something that's coming up that we can all attend, a training, and we'll make sure you get all the information about that. These groups are fighting for each other. They are fighting for each one of us to breathe free and to drink healthy, uncontaminated water. Unsure how you can help? Go to the training. Get together with one of your church buddies and make a date to dip your toes into the waters of social justice. The song says we nurture each other, we nurture our neighbors, we nurture those who are kin, though we know them not. We have had water protectors in our church twice, and they continue to work with the nations in the Dakotas. Justice looks like clean water and not oil spilling into water supplies, nor the ruin of sacred sites of Native Americans as it did at Standing Rock, as it is right now with First Nations people of Canada, and as it will be as infringing on treaties continues to be whitewashed and more pipelines are built without regard for health, safety, or sacred sites. My vision for the Universalist Unitarian Church of Peoria is that we nurture this body we call our church this body that we call home, and to care for that which is precious within these walls so that we have the strength of our love for each other and our resolve to serve the wider community. That is what I visualize when I come in here and I see the waters flowing from these windows. That is what I dream. That we shower our world with mercy, justice, equality, freedom, and joy. And let's not ever forget the joy. We are of the oceans and the babbling brooks. Let our tears of mercy and the waters of justice flow. May it be so.